I love giving bikes away as much as I possibly can. So not only is this a review, but I'm also going to tell you how you could win the bike in this video. Now some of you might be wondering, wait a second, isn't this Bolton Ebikes, and aren't you the owner of Bolton Ebikes, and you sell electric bikes, but you don't sell this bike, so why are you reviewing a bike from what would be perceived as a competitor? That's kind of weird. And yes it is. First off, I have to say, I didn't ask to review this bike. Retina or Yamee Bike actually reached out to me. So that might make you wonder, what about Bolton e-bikes would make competitors reach out to us to review their electric bikes? And I didn't always know what I know today about electric bikes. I did like riding bikes growing up. I rode mountain bikes. I did road biking. I was also into electronics, building things, making things, tinkering. Like most people growing up, I knew exactly what I was going to do when I was going to get older. Not. When I started researching college courses, I found something really interesting called mechatronics. But it was a combination of electrical science, computer science, and mechanical engineering all mashed into one. The very first e-bike that I built was a project that I decided to take on in one of those mechatronics classes. That included designing my own circuit boards, even writing my own code line by line to make the thing work. Eventually, that side hobby continued of building and modifying electric bikes and turned into a full-fledged business. But along the lines, I've always been honest about making electric bikes better. And that means that if I have to review another e-bike to give you good information about what's on the market, then I should do it. Let's get to the review. What are the actual most important things for an electric bike review? I read hundreds of comments from you guys, thousands of emails. We have come up with a new Bolton e-bikes method for reviewing bikes, and we've narrowed it down. We're just going to have A for awesome. That is the best score a certain category can get. Then in the middle we have neutral, and then at the bottom we have poor. 5 things that I'm going to cover. Number 1 is going to be the price. 2 is power. 3 is the range. 4, overall technical specifications. 5, warranty. Since it's the first ride, it's probably a good idea to wear a helmet. Okay, it's got a little bit of a kick. That's good. We're going to start with the number 5 item on our list. So what is the warranty on the Yamee bike Fat Bear 750S? I looked it up on their website because operating 2 cameras, riding a bike, and a cell phone at the same time would probably be a bad idea. 2 years. And yes, I'm riding without hands. Look at that, it's stable. Now, as far as customer service support, that type of thing, I just don't feel right about giving you guys a score on a support or service type category when I haven't actually had to deal with their service or support. Good thing the deer didn't jump out in front of me. Officially speaking, I'm going to give number 5 warranty an A for awesome, because 2 years is longer than average. I would say 12 months is the typical warranty you see for most e-bike companies. I've seen some shorter, I've seen a few longer, but 2 years is just slightly better than what I see on most bikes. Number 4 for this bike would be the technical specifications. I just went up a little bit of a hill, I went down. As you can see, I can ride it comfortably. No hands. Very nice color display. Tektro hydraulic brakes. Mechanical brakes are what you normally see on e-bikes. I'd say around $1,500 in that price range. This one's just a hair above that. Instead of a 7-speed, you actually get 8 speeds on the shifter derailleur setup here. Not bad. And coming down to the fork, you have an air adjustable fork with lockout. Leather comfort grips on here, thumb throttle on the left. It's got a headlight and a tail light. It's got fenders on both front and rear. Comes with the rack that you see here. It is a full suspension design. The rear shock is not the highest quality. This isn't a off-road mountain bike. It's for a little bit of extra comfort. These Well-Go pedals, they always feel a little bit funky on these folding versions, and these ones do too. The metal version, it feels like, so they're gonna last. Here is the 8-speed, and check this out. This is actually a cassette, not a freewheel. If you don't know the difference, a freewheel threads onto the hub or the motor, and a cassette slides on. The gears in a freewheel have the freewheeling mechanism built in, whereas a cassette, the freewheeling mechanism is built into the hub or in the motor. The cassette is a little bit sturdier or more precise, I should say. They tend to work a little bit nicer. All of those things considered, what would I give the components a score? Is it awesome? Is it neutral? Is it poor? Neutral would be a score if everything was just average, what I expected it to be. On many bikes in this price range, I would not expect a cassette. I would not expect an air fork. I would not expect hydraulic brakes. I might not expect a color screen. So I'm gonna have to say, component-wise, dear, it's like they're trying to kill me tonight. So it's gonna get A for awesome. I am slightly conflicted on the range because if you go to their website, I think they said 40 to 60 miles. 40 was throttle and 60 was pedal assist. And they claim that range because of their patented iPass technology, and that's the motor. I have tested a bike with this motor technology before to see if I could get the range that was advertised, and I didn't. I got exactly the range that I expected to get, and I can put a link to that video if you'd like to go check that one out. So this is a geared hub motor in the back, and normally with a geared hub motor you don't ever get the option of regenerative braking. There's a few exceptions now. This is one of them. If we are coming to a stop, like to a stop sign right now, normally most of your energy to stop is wasted as heat on the brakes. Well, wouldn't it be cool if you could use the motor that's already on the bike as a generator? Basically, use the motor to slow you down, and that could feed power back into the battery. And that's what this system is designed to do. Does it help? Yes, I can actually feel it slowing me down. So it is gonna save your brakes a little bit, and it is gonna recapture some energy that would otherwise be lost. I just think they're a little optimistic on how much energy you're actually gonna gain. I'm coasting down the hill and I'm showing negative 69 watts. So that means instead of using power to go down this hill, or just nothing, we're actually recharging the battery at a rate of 69 watts. Cruising up at about same speed, we can get up the hill using anywhere from low 400s to earlier was about 500 watts, maybe 7-8 times as much power to go up the hill as what we can gain from going back down. So is it possible that you could get a range increase of, 5-10%? Yeah, that's within the realm of possibility, but I've seen them throw out numbers much, much higher than that just aren't realistic. This is a 48 volt, 14 amp hour battery, and the range isn't gonna be that much more substantial over any other bike that has a 48 volt, 14 amp hour battery. So for that reason, I think it's priced right. I think the battery's a decent size. I'm gonna give that a neutral score. And number two, we're on to power. This is a 750 watt bike. I have been riding around in pedal assist 1, and on the lowest setting, it's pretty peppy. Let's go ahead and turn it up to 2. Definitely feel a lurch there. Pedal assist isn't the smoothest. 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's only programmed to 3 settings, so no wonder it feels so peppy or punchy. Usually this type of display can be reprogrammed. I'll have to look into that and see if it can be done on this one. Watch for deer, not pedaling at all. The screen is showing me 940 watts. For a split second there, 800 watts. As you just saw, I was getting over 900 watts up the hill. So the bike performs slightly better than advertised. So I really don't have any choice other than to give the power rating a for awesome. It's starting to get really dark outside, so let's get this bike inside and wrap up number 1. Inside where it's nice and warm, but it's not going to stay there for long. More on that in a minute. And finally, number 1, price. How is the bike priced? Is it a good buy for what it is? And I have to say, it's a good bike. The components did better than I expected. We didn't have anything that was poor on it, which is great. Good job, guys. This competition is getting stiffer. There's a lot of e-bikes on the market. There's a lot of good options. There are some little things here and there on other bikes that might be better as far as components. Maybe they're a little more, maybe they're a little bit less. So I think for price, we're just gonna give it a neutral score. It's very competitive with things that are out there. I think it's a decent buy, but it's not anything just that's such an amazing deal. But I do think it's priced very, very fairly for how it comes and what you get. Now I do have a number scoring system that averages all of those things we just talked about, and it goes from 0 to 100. If you got poor on all scores, a bike would come to 0 out of 100. If a bike was neutral in every category, it would come out to a 50 right in the middle. And if it got an awesome score on every category, it would be 100. So how did the Yamee bike fare after averaging out these scores? Well, it came to a pretty respectable 80 out of 100. Now I do have a surprise for you for this bike, and that is I'm giving it away. Yamee Bike has agreed to send me the bike and let me give it away after the review is done. So if you want a chance to win the bike, go check out the link in the description below this video. Thanks again for watching another video from Bolton Ebikes. I hope you enjoyed the new review format. You're gonna see more of those in the near future. If you haven't subscribed and you like e-bikes in any way, then make sure to hit that button right there. Yeah, just click it for me right there, please.